In the last video, I showed you how to put these two views, a foundation plan and a typical structural plan, into our sheet here. And now I'm going to show you how to create a section, a wall section specifically, not a building section like these, and put that building section into here. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to one of these existing views, and I'll just go ahead and go to this structural plan. So I'm just going to minimize this down, and here it is. Okay. And next, and I could do this from any view, I'm going to put a wall section in here. And to do that, I'm going to go to Views, go to Sections, and you'll see here this is a building section. And then you'll see right down here a wall section. Okay, so I'm going to do a wall section, and it's very similar to a building section. It's just a variation on the theme. And let's see where would probably be the best place to put that. Let's just put this wall section probably here in the middle on this beam here. So I'm going to do it from this side here. And this is flipped the wrong direction, so I'm going to zoom in here, and of course we can fix that. You see these little arrows here. If I click here, that changes, takes it off, takes it back to bubble, arrow, and then over here. Okay, so this is what I want right here. And a wall section only covers a portion of the wall. Okay, so its focus, unlike the building, is not on the whole building, but is on the wall. Okay, and there's a little difference in the wall section template or icon there, but there's not much. So now we have a wall section set, and of course this is the boundary of sets the boundary of the wall section, how far we want to go back and forth. So I'm going to double click. Notice I clicked out here and released the wall section, and then double click on the bubble. And when you double click on the bubble, it's going to show you the wall section itself. Okay, and so we got a wall section, and of course the detail is set to coarse, and I'm going to set this to fine. And when we do, you can see all of the detail. Here's our bar joist, and here's our steel. Here's our steel column. Our decking right here, the metal decking. Notice because of the direction in which we cut that we don't get that W shape in here because we're cutting with the groove and not against it. And then same thing here. Let's clear out another section, then we can compare the two. And I think that's the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to go back to kind of right here, and let's minimize that down. And I don't need sheet. And go back up here, and so I'm going to put another one in the opposite direction. So I'm going to put another one right here, and I'll mirror it against this one just like we did before. Section, wall section, where the bubble's going to be first, where the arrow's going to be second. They're not lined up, so I'm going to move them until they're kind of pointing at each other. I want this to cover the bar joist. Probably don't need to cover that bar joist, just beyond the column will be fine. And that looks pretty good. And so I'm going to double click out there, double click on the bubble, and then here's our other wall section. So now let's minimize this. Let's turn off that floor plan, maximize this, and WT these two. Oh, I turned off the wall section. Okay, let me go back. This is wall sections right down here. You can see they're called section 3 and section 4 in the sequence of sections, but they're put under a different label so they're easier to find. I'm going to open section 3 up. I'm going to hit WT, and we're going to put both of those up, and we'll go into detail in just a second. And we also need to rename these, so we'll rename them in a second so we get more specific. And so here's our wall section, and I'm going to zoom in here, and it's cut from one direction in the structure, so we can see the joist in section and the girder here in section. And if we zoom in here, we're looking at it from a different direction, and I'm going to make this fine. And once again, we're seeing now the joist, this joist, as it sits on, I'm sorry, the girder here, that's a beam. So it's as it sits on the girder, and then the whole metal deck insulation and everything in section. So we've got two different views, two different directions here. And for right now, let's just pop them in as they are. We want to go back and adjust them for different, to add text and other things, but for right now, let's just pop them into our sheet. So I'm going to open the sheet again because I closed it. And it's the same, once again, same approach as those floor plans up there. I'm just going to kind of orient this. Oh, the other thing we need to check is the scale of these. I didn't. They're set to 1/8 inch over here, so I'm going to set that to a 1/2 inch because that's what I'm required to have, is a 1/2 inch. I'm going to set this to a 1/2 inch here, right there. So now when I put them in, they'll be the right scale. It's simpler. You can do it anytime, but simpler. So once again, you can drag and drop. So I can just drag and drop, and drag and drop again. Okay. Now the beauty is that what I want you to notice is that I put those wall sections in, boom, the wall sections are now showing in our plans. Okay, and not only are they showing in that plan, but they're also showing in the foundation plan. Okay, I put them into this plan, but now they're also being shown here. The other beauty of that is that, of course, I can look at this. I may want to move this a little bit because of the tail. Graphically, that's probably not too good. But you'll notice there's an 01 and a 4 here. And what that means is that 01 is the sheet. Okay, so this is sheet 01. If we look down here, that's what we numbered it, 01. And then, of course, the section number is 4. So that's section 4. And we might change the name of it a little bit, but I think we want to keep the numbers. So now we have both of those sections in here, and the one thing I want to do is make sure they're lined up. The other thing is I'd probably come in here. Once again, I can just activate this view. So I'm going to activate that view, and that'll let me go right into the view without opening the view itself. And so I would correct, once again, I'm going to have to do this. I did this for my elevations earlier, right? But now I'm going to have to do it. So I can tell these aren't far enough out. So I'm going to deactivate the view. Save project. And I'm going to move this. Okay. And I need to increase that viewport. And to do that, I have to go into the view itself, and I have to unhide. There it is. And if I click it, now I can make it bigger. Okay. So that works for me right there. And that looks pretty good. Okay, that's pretty wide. It depends on whether I want those on this side. I would really rather have these labels on the other side, on this side of the section, on the outside of the section, rather than on the inside of the section, like this one right here. Let's deactivate this view. So I kind of prefer them out there, but I mean, it doesn't mean you have to. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Kind of widen those a little bit. And now I'd make adjustments and stuff to it so that I could, once again, I'd come in here, correct all these, and I'm going to show you rather than spend time doing all that. You don't want to watch me do that. But once again, I'm going to deactivate this view. And we can see, you know, here's one direction, here it is from the other direction. And then when we put envelopes out here, we're going to put a different type of envelope on each section so that they have a little bit more purpose and meaning. Here we can see concrete precast concrete panels, and then this is of course cut not in the hole, because we would see the hole right here. It's cut in the solid. If we wanted to see the hole, we need to move the section a little bit. Let's see, it's cutting into the holes. That would be this one right here. If we activate this view, see what happens if I just tweak that a little bit. Yep, that did it. Okay, I'm going to deactivate the view, and now you'll see it's cutting through the hole. I moved it so it's cutting through the hole. So I'm going to go now and get into more detail, show you the detail that I'd put into it. Also, you'll notice that the box is showing around these, so we would want to turn that off. Now that we've created our two sections, let's zoom into them, and that's what I've done right here. You can see, we'll just zoom out, this is the top or the roof level, and where am I here? Let's go down here and go to the roof level here too, so we can see the same thing. Also, you'll notice off screen I put labels in, use the dot that I created earlier, and label each one of the materials. So you may want to take note of the different materials here, pause the video and see what materials I've used. I haven't put those labels over here yet, and I'll show you a simple and quick way to do that. Labels are kind of self-evident, so I didn't see any reason to go through how to put labels on things again. Here we can see the concrete panel level. Once again, you know, we can see the holes in this direction and then the holes in this direction. And if we go down to, oops, the second floor, there we go. We can see on the second floor, same kind of thing. And here you can see where I actually have already moved over text to this view. Now, in Revit, you can move text or copy text from one view to another. You can't copy it from one file to another, okay? But you can copy it from one view to another. So what I'm going to do is zoom in and copy for you to show you how it works. Whoops. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to get this kind of at the same zoom level. You may not be able to read this text. Okay, and I'm going to just use, well, here well, that will take all the text from every level. No, only in view. So I'm going to do a selection, all instances, visible in view. And because I use the visible in view, it's only going to select, it's using the view as a clipping plane in a sense to clip out all the other text. And so I'm going to select that. Then I'm going to go over here to our copy to the clipboard, just like we did the columns. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. And then I'm going to go to this next view and I'm going to say paste this, okay, and align it to selected views. So, well, let's not do align to selected views. Let's do, where'd it go? Paste, paste to clipboard. Okay, and then it's going to put it in close to where it thinks it should be. And then if I, oh, it did grab that other text that I had put in. Well, that's good. Okay, since I'm in the bottom of this, I'm going to go down here so it will stay close to the same location. And then I can move it around and edit it. So I guess it took the whole view whether the view was clipping or not, which is good and bad. But so we can see right here it's pretty close to the same location. I'm going to grab these real quick, and I'm going to use the arrow key to bump them so that they're more located where I want them to be. Okay, and then of course this is 12K open web joist. That's in the wrong location, so I'm going to drag it over here, and I may even just drag it over to here, so it's doing that. Okay, so the leader's there, and once again I could play back with it, and then I could just go down here, and once again probably need to bump this around a little bit. Control, 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 and up, up, and over, over. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe over one more step. And as you can see, I could go down and do each wall, each condition here, marking off each one of the elements, or add additional text. The only other thing I'm really lacking is in this I want to put in a dimension. So I'm going to put in some dimensions, and here I'm just going to put in the basic dimensions. You don't want every dimension, but the one dimension that I really do need is finished floor to finished floor. Okay, so you could choose to go out here. I think it's going to get too crowded if I put a dimension over there, so I'm going to go finished floor to finished floor. Okay, and the finished floor, and the finished floor, and the finished floor. And because Revit has intelligent graphics, because we got this scaled, our text is going to be the appropriate size for the scale of the drawing. So you can see this is 14 feet 6 inches from finished floor to finished floor. If I wanted that to be 18 feet, like we were talking about in our project, then I could move this line. I'd probably want to move all of these in relationship to it, and to move those lines or the levels, I would have to I'm sorry, 14 feet, that's right, that's the basement, excuse me, and then this is 18 feet. Yeah, this is the first floor, so that's correct. Well, once again, if I wanted to move it, I could select this line, change this to 18 feet to 17 feet, and if everything's locked in, all these beams, all the floors, all the columns would redefine themselves to the height, the new height, which is, wow, great, right? And so I'm going to go back now to my sheet. Let's open my sheet up. Where's my sheet? There it is right there. So I'm going to open my sheet up here. And so now I've got my two floor plans. They're inlined in place. See, right here I got those labels. They're going right into my text. I could move the text, but I think all I'm going to do is just drop these labels down. I'm going to do the same thing. Once again, labels are a part of the sheet. Our title blocks are a part of the sheet. So I'm just going to drop those down. Now you'll notice right here I don't have any earth underneath this. To put earth underneath there, we need to do a couple of other things, and I'll cover that in the site model. And so I'll cover that when I cover the site model, and you'll see how that objects. But this will be great for the prelim that we're interested in. The last thing we want to do here is to put in a 3D drawing of our model here. And so that's what we're going to do in the next video.